Thinking about moving from a big city to Salem, Oregon? Well, maybe you're living in Portland, Seattle, Los Angeles, San Francisco, or some other really large city. And you're wondering if Salem's going to feel too small. Will there be enough to do? And what is my lifestyle really going to look like here living in Salem? Today I'm diving deep into what life in Salem really looks like if you're coming from a big city. We'll cover lifestyle changes, cost of housing, things to do, culture, community, and even how Salem's location plays a role in your daily life. Now, I come to you in this video speaking from experience. I made the move from Los Angeles, one of the largest cities in the country, to a much smaller town here in Salem. So I understand your concerns, what's your hesitations, and what you're probably thinking when thinking about moving to a small city. So stick with me because by the end of the video, you're going to know whether Salem is the right fit for your next move. And we're going to start off with the very first thing that people notice when they move here, and that is the pace of life. In a big city, life moves pretty fast, and if you don't stop to look around once in a while, you could miss it. Now, did anybody catch that quote from Ferris Bueller's Day Off? That may be dating me, but if you know, you know. I mean, let's face it, if you're living in a big city, there's traffic, there's congestion, it's super busy, there's a high energy buzz, and there's just a lot going on, almost too much to really truly enjoy it all. People are always rushing around, everyone seems to be in a hurry, no one's really taking the time to get to know each other, not a big sense of community when you're living in such a large city. Well, Salem is a major shift away from that. Commute times are way shorter here in Salem. It takes about 20-25 minutes to get across the whole city, whereas in a big city, that could be an hour or even more. And not just that, you're sitting in traffic for that time. You're not going anywhere, so it even feels longer. Parking here, way easier. Don't have to circle 20 minutes or park several blocks away or a mile away from whatever event you're going to. Less congestion, way simpler. Oh, and a bonus little tip here in Salem, there are free parking structures in the downtown area. They just implemented pay for parking on the streets, but it's so minimal compared to big cities, not even close or comparable. The overall vibe here in Salem is just less stressful. People are more relaxed. They're taking their time. No one's just honking at you as soon as the light turns green. People let people in when people are driving and switching lanes. It's just much more enjoyable as far as the pace goes here. And that's one of the biggest draws for people moving to Salem is that slower pace. For me and my family, that was huge. We were tired of the rat race in Los Angeles. We've been to other big cities that we just knew were not going to be for us. We wanted to slow down. We wanted to breathe. We wanted to relax. And that is a major plus for a lot of people that I know have moved here and for my family personally. But for others, it can feel like something is missing. That big city energy is just not here in Salem. It is a lot quieter. So if that's something that you need or looking for in your life on a daily, then Salem's not going to be the right fit for you. Salem is slower, and it's for people that want out of that big city energy, that buzz, that constant feel where you're on the go, or just have to move fast. It's for people that want to escape that, like my family and I. That was not part of our lifestyle anymore. And that is why we ultimately landed on moving here to Salem, Oregon. And of course, one of the biggest reasons why people ditch the big city is the cost of housing, and that's where Salem really shines. But before I jump into the cost of housing, I want to remind you that I'm Dave Fein with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty, local real estate agent, love to help people move to and relocate to the city of Salem and the surrounding areas. Just like you, I made the move, brought my family here, relocated so I can connect and understand some of the current concerns that you may have when making that move here. Hit me up at the contact information below or popping up. If you're thinking about buying a house here when moving to Salem, I'd love to help you. Comment below, like to hear your concerns there as well. Hit the like button to get this video out to more people like yourselves. And subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this to learn about the lifestyle of Salem, Oregon. Big city housing prices can be very overwhelming, and I definitely understand from firsthand experience. Now, when we were thinking about the move, we did check out Portland just to see what that was going to be like in the suburbs outside the city, and you're looking at about $550,000 for your median home price. Now, if we wanted to go further north into Seattle, that's going to be closer to $880,000 for median home price. Now, where I came from, the median home price, $1.1 million. It's insane. San Francisco, even higher, $1.3 million. But any big city is going to be substantially higher than what you can expect to pay here in Salem, Oregon. Now, let's jump right into it. Salem, Oregon's median home price is $430,000. So you can see right off the bat how much less expensive it is here. The worst thing about big cities is you're paying those big dollars and you're getting so much less for your money. Less square footage in the house, less lots. And if you're in a big city, there's a chance you may be buying a condo in a high-rise building with no land at all. Well, that's really not going to be the case here in Salem. Here in Salem, you're going to get larger square footage, larger lot sizes, and even an opportunity to buy new construction at a way more reasonable price. Now, if you talk to locals that have been here for a while, with a lot of people moving in here, like myself, prices have driven up just because Salem is becoming more popular. So we're not the cheapest city by far in all of Oregon. But as far as what you get when living in Salem, Oregon, it's actually quite a bargain. And especially if you're moving from a big city, it is a massive bargain. We almost had sticker shock in the reverse, where we couldn't believe how much space we can get compared to what we had in Los Angeles. Now, there are other expenses when it comes to housing, like homeowners insurance and utilities. And again, I can speak from experience from myself and from people that I've helped move here from other big cities. Home insurance, way less expensive, a lot cheaper. Utilities, cheaper. Now, again, talk to people that have been here for a while. You've seen utility bills go up, and you've seen price of home insurance go up. But we're talking relative to large city life, and it is a major discount. So that's one of the biggest benefits to moving to Salem is less expensive when it comes to housing. Your utilities are going to be less expensive, as well as your homeowner's insurance. With my experience as a real estate agent, I love helping people move here that could have never afforded a home in the big city that they're moving from. And now their opportunities are more abundant, and they can actually buy a home, grow their family, and have a piece of the home ownership dream that they would have never had they not moved to Salem, Oregon. Now, affordability is great, but only if you still have things to do and enjoy living in your city. So let's talk about what Salem offers in terms of fun, entertainment, and activities. Now, this is where most people's fears kick in. Will I be bored in Salem? And I gotta be honest with you, this was one of my biggest concerns before making the move to Salem. Keep in mind, just like you probably, I lived in a big city. I spent my whole life in a big city, and I'm making a big transition to a much smaller town. And I was used to having everything at my fingertips, and I knew that was not going to be the case necessarily here in Salem. And I love to be active. I am not a homebody. I like to go out. I like to enjoy things, entertainment, nature, all sorts of things. And this was my biggest concern, and it wasn't going to be addressed until I actually lived here and experienced lifestyle here for myself. There also wasn't a whole lot out there, including videos on YouTube, about what it was actually like to live here and what you can actually do. Let's break it down. Salem does not have endless nightlife. We don't have massive concert venues. We don't have professional sports teams. We don't have entertainment that stays open till midnight, 2 in the morning. We certainly don't have a lot of high-end shopping districts here in Salem. But what we do have here in Salem may actually surprise you. Let's talk about parks and outdoor spaces first. That was a big draw for us. Again, we wanted out of that big city life, wanted more space, wanted more nature, and that's a big draw for a lot of people. We have hundreds and hundreds of acres of parks and open space right here in the heart of the city of Salem, and I absolutely love it. We've got Bush's Pasture Park, which is pretty adjacent to the downtown area, with beautiful walking paths, a large rose garden with gazebo. We've got an old house, which turned into a historic museum. We've got oak groves right there in the park. We also have sports fields, and Pringle Creek runs right through the park. There's a couple of playgrounds for the kids, big open grass space for just having a nice picnic or relaxing. There's also many special events here, including the annual Summer Art Festival, where you've got hundreds and hundreds of vendors and people from the community come out in droves to enjoy this event with live music and artists. You also have Mento Brown Island Park, which is, again, over 100 acres, hundreds of acres of open space with walking paths. This one's right along the Willamette River. We go there all the time for a little bike ride or just a nice quiet walk, bird watching. You can bring your dog there. There's a massive off-leash dog park there. There's just miles and miles of walking paths where it's tree-lined and shade-covered, and you just get lost there for a couple hours and just kind of feel like you're away from the city. There's also Riverfront Park, which is also adjacent to the downtown area, which has an old historic carousel if you've got young kids, a big playground, a splash pad. This one also runs along the Willamette River. Now, Riverfront Park connects to Mento Brown Island Park by what we call the Taco Bridge, which crosses over part of the Willamette River. There's also an amphitheater there where they have outdoor concerts, especially during the summer, and there are tons and tons of events that occur at this park. And one of my favorite spots was just about 40 minutes outside of Salem, Oregon, is Silver Falls. They've got 10 waterfalls, including a few you can walk underneath. Beautiful hiking areas for people to either trail run, just go for a nice stroll. They've got a restaurant out on the premises, barbecue area. There's also a playground, and just it's one of the most beautiful hiking paths and forested areas that I've ever experienced. And I love being able to walk right underneath the waterfalls. The kids absolutely love it. Now I'm going to jump into something that was a total pleasant surprise when we moved here, had no idea, but Salem hosts a lot of events and festivals throughout the year, and this really brings the community together. We absolutely love it. In all honesty, we didn't take full advantage of it of our first year because we weren't really aware, and now that we've done it, we feel really connected. They've got the annual state fair here, which is massive. It's a big draw for the community. Again, I mentioned that art festival at Bush's Pasture Park. We've got a forest festival, an agriculture festival. We've got the Ironman that comes through here. I just experienced the Great Marble Hunt, which was downtown. It was their first annual one where we got to roam around downtown with maps and a scavenger hunt trying to find these hand-blown glass marbles, which was really cool. Just little things like that you're going to find throughout the entire year here in Salem. We got lights in the park during the holidays. There's plenty of runs and races throughout the city. We've got World Beat festivals that celebrates culture. We've got movies in the park, concerts in the park. And during the fall, a lot of the farms open up for their fall festivities, for corn mazes, pumpkin patches, hay rides, and so much more. You can hit up one farm every weekend and you still may not hit them all up. It's really cool. The city really thrives on bringing the community together through these annual events throughout the year. Now we'll talk about the food and wine scene. This was a little bit surprising. Again, I had kind of high standards, came from a big city, had all the food from all around the world at my fingertips. Wasn't expecting too much here in Salem. And now I'm completely transparent, not nearly the amount of variety that you're going to find in a big city. But we do have food from all over the place. But what's really cool is that we live right in the heart of the Willamette wine country. There are hundreds of wineries that surround Salem, as well as hundreds of farms. And you really see this come out in the food scene here. We've got a lot of seasonal food, a lot of seasonal menus, so you can hit up your favorite restaurant multiple times a year and have different choices of food, which is awesome. And it's so farm fresh because everyone sources their food from the local farmers. Same with wines. If you're a big wine drinker and you love to pair your wines, you have such an assortment of wines. We're known for Pinot Noir, but we've got a lot of varietals. So there's a real connection between our food scene and the agriculture that we have here in Salem. And I really love being a part of that. I love the freshness. So while the local dining scene is a lot smaller than what you'll find in a big city, it is growing. We have more chefs coming into here because they get to explore and have more creativity with a lot of the fresh foods from agriculture. We also have the Saturday market, which is kind of part of our food and wine scene because a lot of the farmers come here and sell their goods. A lot of the restaurants and chefs go to the Saturday market to get the fresh produce that they want to put in their menus. So Saturday market during the spring, summer, fall is a really big deal here as well. Now, if you got a family, I've got young kids, so this was important to make sure that my kids were going to be entertained and have things to do. Again, I was concerned because coming from a big city, we could do anything. The problem was it's always so busy and so crowded and hard to get to, so sometimes we didn't take advantage of it. But on the flip side here in Salem, we were concerned there wasn't going to be enough. Well, it turns out there definitely is. And we've got a children's museum called the Gilbert House right in the heart of the city. Kids absolutely love that. They also have summer camps available. We have a small amusement park. Highly recommend going at least once, especially if you got small kids. It's called Enchanted Forest. A couple little roller coasters, some rides. They've got kind of a small mix of bigger kid rides and smaller kid rides. And it's just a fun little land to walk through with like fairy tale land and medieval land and western land. That's it. Again, not Disneyland, Universal Studios, Magic Mountain. It's not like that at all. But it's something cool to entertain the kids. We've got trampoline parks. We've got the Croc Center, which has indoor rock climbing, swimming pools, even indoor water slide, kids activities, and so much more. We've got the Athletic Edge and a couple other indoor playgrounds. We've got a couple of arcades. We've got indoor go-kart racing. I mentioned how many events were here in Salem. So many of them are kid-friendly, and there's also some kid-dedicated events that happen here in the city as well. And we have a tremendous amount of sports programs here. Again, that was a concern for me. We're a big sports family, but it turns out there are a lot of opportunities. Our kids are thriving here, and we really are happy with what we found here in Salem. Again, we were concerned, one of our big concerns here, but it turns out Our kids have plenty to do, plenty of entertainment, and we always have busy weekends. And the best part is we're not fighting crowds. We're not hustling for parking. We're not walking for miles to get to the events. We're not shoulder to shoulder when we're at these events. We can actually breathe and experience what the event is meant to be and all parts of it, which is awesome. But things to do are only half the story. What about the community? What about the people and the vibe? What can you expect when living here in Salem? Now, while big cities can feel exciting, it also can feel lonely. You can live in the same apartment complex and really never know your neighbor. And that's what I was kind of saying earlier. It can feel almost too big, and you don't feel necessarily connected. Well, here in Salem, the energy is quite the opposite. You actually do feel connected. People are more approachable. And in many of these events and festivals that I had talked about, you're going to see the same faces. You're going to see your neighbors, your friends, and your family. When my family and I moved here, I felt we were able to establish more close-knit community, tighter relationships, and especially if you got kids, you've got a family, this could be very important for you as it was for us. We wanted to be part of something. We wanted our kids to feel welcome and be part of something and to see their friends not only in their neighborhood, but places we went, whether it is different sports activities or going to the Saturday market or hitting up one of the indoor playgrounds, or of course running into them at one of the many events here in Salem. We did not have the same experience when living in a big city. We felt disconnected. We felt sometimes lost. It was a little too big. We certainly didn't run into the same people at the different events that we were going to. The only time we saw similar faces was within our own neighborhood, which is fine. But there is something to be said if you haven't experienced that where you're going to events or again the farmer's market, the library, whatever it is, and you see your friends from school, you see your friends from the neighborhood, or you just run into people that you've seen at another event and you start connecting that way. People are so much more approachable here, and I think that goes back to slower pace of life where people can breathe and take the time to actually communicate, talk with, and share experiences with, where again, coming from a big city, everyone's hustling. Everyone's trying to keep up. Everyone's moving fast and not taking the time, for lack of a better phrase, to stop and smell the roses. Because for us, that was very important and meaningful for raising a family. We wanted that sense of community, and we absolutely found it here in Salem. Now, there is a trade-off. We don't have the level of diversity in food and restaurants that we would in a big city. We don't have that nightlife opportunity that we would if we had stayed or moved to another big city. And we also don't have that big city culture that you would find in a Portland, Seattle, or any other big city. But what makes up for it is that sense of belonging, and that we do have here in Salem. And if you do decide to make the move here to Salem and you still want that big city fix, you're covered. And that's where Salem again shines because of its location of where we are here in Oregon. One of the biggest advantages of living in Salem, Oregon is its location. It means you don't have to fully give up the big city lifestyle. It just means you don't have to live in it on a daily. So as much as I come down on the big city and definitely don't want to live in one, I certainly still enjoy what a big city has to offer. And Portland is just about an hour away. It's just an hour north from Salem. And the commute is not that bad. Sometimes you hit traffic, but you can get there and make a nice day trip. You can do a weekend getaway. So if you kind of jonesing for an NBA game or a pro soccer game, you can go up in there. If you want science museum, you want a big zoo to go to with the family, you got you covered. You're there in an hour. If you just want that big shopping experience, downtown feel, you're there in about an hour. If you want to have a night out and explore some new restaurants, hit up a new bar or club, Portland's got you covered, and again, just about an hour away. And if there's big events going on at the convention center, it's a quick drive. So you can enjoy what Portland or a big city has to offer, but not have to live in it and only commute an hour to get there. The other beauty about living in Salem is you're just about an hour away from the coast. And the Oregon coast is some of the most beautiful coastline that I've ever experienced. We go there we do a summer trip all the time, and then we also do weekend getaways or just a day trip because it's so close. We love the small little coastal communities. The kids love doing their little sandcastles on the beach, get some great seafood, and it's a beautiful drive along a forested mountain drive, and it opens up right to the beach, right to the ocean, right to the coastline. And again, so easy to access. Now, if you're a mountain person, you just go east instead of west, and you're about an hour and a half or so to the foothills of the Cascade Mountains, and just about 2 hours to those peaks. And again, if you love camping, if you love hiking, if you love skiing, or just driving through the forest or going to a lake, You're so close. We are so central to all of these things. We are so central to so much here to explore in Oregon. We've got the wine country. I mentioned we're in the heart of it. We're adjacent to it. So I live in a place where I'm 5-10 minutes away from the local wineries, but if you have to drive 30 minutes, again, the location, you're in the heart of wine country and agriculture. So if you want to spend a day just going winery hopping or take advantage of one of the many events that they have during the spring and summer seasons, you're super close. And again, it comes down to location. So again, instead of living in that chaotic energy 24/7, you can pick and choose when you want to go to the big city and experience the big city energy and the big city lifestyle. And then you get to come home to a much calmer, quieter lifestyle at your home city in Salem. All right, so what's the bottom line when moving to and living in Salem? Well, we're going to wrap it all up right now. Moving from a big city to Salem, Oregon isn't about finding a smaller version of where you came from. It's about deciding whether you're ready for a lifestyle shift. If you need nonstop nightlife, restaurants at every corner, constant variety, easy access to massive concert venues or big events like that, or if you just love that high energy buzz, then Salem's just not going to be the right fit for you. Easy and plenty of access to nature, just an overall calm pace of life, and again, that sense of community. Well, Salem is definitely got you covered. It's what we were looking for. It's what we found. It's what we needed. And all of this, and still being close enough to Portland, a big city, to get that big energy fix whenever we wanted it or needed it. So is Salem going to be right for you? Well, if you're serious about making that move and thinking about buying a house when moving out here, make sure you hit me up at the contact information popping up above or in the description below. As a reminder, I'm Dave Fein with the Real Estate Dads at eXp Realty. I made the relocation here with my family so I can understand again what you're thinking about, what you're concerned about, and I'd love to help. Subscribe to the channel to get more videos to learn about the lifestyle of Salem. There's not a whole lot out there. That's why I do these videos. Hit the like button to get this video out to more people like yourselves. And of course, comment below. We'd like to hear any of your questions there. But again, if you are serious about making that move and wanting to buy a house here, I'm your real estate agent, and I will see you on the next video.